Good evening, everybody. Beautiful. So my name is Richard Luis Regudo Jr., also known as Richie Ladrigo, and I'm honored to be in the company of greatness. It feels good to look around and see some of our elders, some of my dad's mentors and his teachers. A lot of people know who my dad is. His name is Razzle Dazzle. All right. And so, not trying to fill his shoes in, but he's one of our honorees today, and I'm extremely humbled to be not only his son, but his friend as well. Yes. And so, it's with great honor and gratitude that our company, Indigenous Warrior Enterprise, and our sponsor company, Indigenous Circles United, and all of our other sponsors who have made this event possible, but most of all of the artists, activists that are in our communities, keeping our traditions alive through ceremony, activism, different events that are taking place all throughout the country and all over the globe. These ceremonies that indigenous people take care of. That's why we're here today. We're here today on behalf of our company to honor you guys. But we wanted to connect a lot of the people that are active in our communities. And I seen that happening out in that area. I was nervous when the event started because I didn't know what to expect. And when I started seeing the elders out there sharing stories from when they were younger and saying, hey, remember this, remember that, it's $5 phone fee, MacNiff. All right, try to turn your phone off. We are honoring a bunch of people today, all right? They're gonna come up here and give their story. Some people are gonna come up and share about them. So if we can, and I don't wanna be like my dad is famous for that. He's like, turn your phones off, and then the phone starts ringing and it's his phone. I'm like, I better turn mine down too. But we do appreciate you guys. And I'm just one person, but we're a whole community. And together, we can make great things happen. All right? We all know that indigenous people have been exposed to a lot of tragedy. All right? And we don't hide that anymore. We don't try to sweep it under the rug anymore. It's out in the open. We know what we've been through. But hopefully through partnerships, networking, and supporting each other, hopefully we can have a good gauge of where we're going. All right? But that's my main question, really, that I ask myself. Where are we going as indigenous people? We know where we've been. We know where we're at, but where are we going? And a lot of times, I don't think our people ask that question. But we have a lot of youth here. 50% of the crowd is probably the youth in our communities. We need to start asking them that question. They need to start asking us that question. Where are we going? How are we going to continue to carry on these traditions when we know we're living in two worlds? How are we going to try to walk that thin line and be in the middle and obtain the hardest thing to me, I think, for us to obtain is balance. How are we going to maintain that balance? How are we going to respect the fact that we live in two worlds? The earthly and the spiritual. And how can we kind of mesh the two together in order to provide that answer for our children of where are we going? How are we going to get there? And so hopefully through events like this, organizations that are part of this event, we can get that message out there. And maybe the next Indigenous Artist-Activist Awards could be hosted by Sacramento United Natives or another youth group. We can allow them the platform to go ahead and step into those shoes and maybe show us where we're going. But like I said, it's with great honor and a lot of gratitude that I stand here in front of some of my peers, our elders, these young ones. This is a great time in our community. There's greatness in this room. We need to move forward. We need to share resources. We need to network. We need to carry each other, uplift each other. It's there. It's all there. Everything is there. We need to be able to share that. Let go some of the stains. I was writing a poem the other day, and it was after I came back from Round Valley. I went up to Round Valley on a Wednesday to implement a 3 to 5 year strategic plan for education, culture, and vocational training. On Thursday, there was a post on Facebook. Round Valley High School football team forfeits its season because they have a lack of players. 80% of the school population in Round Valley is native. That means they don't have enough native players. So there's challenges. There's challenges out there for people. But if we work together, we can make it happen. I just want to add my good thoughts and my good prayers onto all of your guys' good thoughts and good prayers in a good way. And we want to be able to honor some of those people tonight. And so with the assistance of Miss Dawn Karima, we're going to try to have a platform where we can do that and share openly about the people that we want to honor, some of the people that weren't here. And I have to mention that there's a lot of people that helped put this organization together. There's a lot of people that support our nonprofit organization that didn't want recognition. So it's not about that. It's not about that. There would have been many more people here that we would have been recognizing, but a lot of those people did not want recognition. All right? And so remember that. Remember that it's not about recognition. All right? It's about us honoring you. And this is one of the best ways that I knew how to be able to do that. So hope, blessings.
Hey, y'all. Ooh, let's try that again, because I'm a Southerner. When somebody says hey, you better say hey. So let's try that one more time. Ready, set, hey, y'all. Hey. All right, that sounds awesome. My name is Dr. Dawn Karima, and I'm a Native American Music Award winner for my CD, The Desire of Nations, and an Indigenous Music Award nominee for my CD, The Stars of Heaven. And I have the pleasure to host a conversation with Dawn Karima, which is a show that spotlights what we're doing in Native America. You know, my grandmama used to say that there were always good people in the world, and that good people always outnumber the bad. But the bad ones get more publicity. Well, not on my show, on A Conversation with Dawn Karima, which you can find right now by podcast on your phones on Talktainment Radio. We celebrate the stars of Native America, the people that are building up our communities and not tearing them down. And we share the glorious things we're doing, and this is one of them. Isn't that wonderful? You know, there are warriors in this room tonight. You know that? All the warriors aren't extinct. All the warriors aren't in the history books. We honor the ancestors and we love the elders. But you know what? There's such a thing as the now. We ain't even worried about the next because we know that we're the now. There are warriors in this room right now. And you know what else is in this room right now? Heroes. There are people right now, partners, mothers, lovers, friends, children, grandparents, cousins, community members, who make it possible for the Indigenous warriors that we're honoring tonight to do what they do in a great way. So I want to start things off in a good way. Let's have a round of applause for those people who support the warrior work that our honorees are doing. For me, that's my mom and dad, who I am convinced are angels in disguise. For some of you, it may be a very special person, but I want to make sure, let's applaud for those people who help us do warrior work. One of the great things about tonight is that we're celebrating the good things that happen in Indigenous nations and Indigenous places and in Native America. I think there are a few folks who sometimes confuse thug life with warriors. I ain't calling no names, but you know what I'm talking about. I always, when somebody tells me how bad they are and how mighty they are and they start talking to me, I'm like, well, let's see you at Sundance. Let's see you at some of the 21-day fasts we have before a green corn ceremony. Let's see something. Well, these Indigenous warriors here tonight are showing us great bravery with every moment of their great lives. And so to start things off, I would like us to think and to focus on what it means to be an Indigenous warrior. And to help us do that, I'm going to read to you from The Way We Make Sense, which is my first novel. My second novel is The Marriage of Saints, which is part of the University of Oklahoma's American Indian Studies series. But The Way We Make Sense has a poem in it, and I think that it says what we want to say about what it means to be a warrior right now. Thank you so much. I love you too. Our words echo in the air. They are remembered by mountains and told again by thunder as lessons in our drum beats and in our dance steps. Our jingle dresses carry our verbs. Our fancy dancers are our poetry. We have all the history we need in our hawk and eagle feathers. Baskets are our geometry lessons, balancing lines and measuring color and weaving life. The Trail of Tears was our government class. Brown faces tilted toward the whirlwind, waiting for someone to do us justice, leaving life. Our stories are our textbooks. Our mothers and our warriors change wisdom into weapons, make master's degrees from a night by the fire, speaking life. And now our warriors are reading. Our minds make sense of slick paper pages. We see whole lifetimes in dots and in dashes. Our moccasin prints are in cyberspace. Our warriors are learning. Our fingers mend broken treaties and battered hearts with bandages woven from nouns and verbs, adverbs, and an occasional gerund. We apply sovereignty to speed healing. Our warriors are serving. We mold sticks and spheres. We make them into land claims and letters. We claim as a trophy this thing they call life. And on good days, we shout out loud. Thank you. We think about the folks in this room and what it means to be a warrior. And we're uplifted, we're encouraged, we're blessed, and we're thankful, aren't we? Yes, I am. But we're also humbled and honored and happy. And so I want to make sure that we take a moment to say thank you to each one of you who gives your lives to do this great work. You don't have to do it, but you do. I know that for me, the message that I want my life to give you is this. I love you. I love you. I love you. And Creator does too. I hope that every song I ever sing, I hope that every book I ever write, I hope every time you tune into a conversation with Dawn Karima, that's what you hear. That I love you and Creator does too. And I hope that you remember that to love Creator and to love others is the only thing worth doing. I know for me that's my to-do list every day, all the days, forever and a day. And so when I think of all of our Indigenous warriors, and as I'm joined here to celebrate and to honor them, I want us to remember that the foundational thing in a warrior's life is a love. A love of our ways and our people, a love of our culture and our traditions, a love of our land, a love of each other, a love of our families, a love of Creator. And love never fails. Madomahe.
My name is Alapian Chotoi in my traditional Taos Pueblo people's way, and I'm honored to be here and share with you all this dance. And this is the hoop dance. The style that I do comes from my Taos Pueblo people, and I wanted to do it in a good way for you all, so I'm going to use the music that comes from my Taos Pueblo people and the style that we do. You may see a lot of other hoop dancers out there dancing with 10, 20, 50 hoops. That's their style that they do, but this was the style that I was taught. And I offer it all to you all in a good way. And remember, when you're watching it, as it's offered, think good thoughts. That's what this medicine was meant to do, is help people feel good and feel better. And also to honor those that are here to be honored this evening, and also those that support them, their circle that is within them all and within you all. So again, this is the hoop dance, and I'm honored to share with you all tonight. Hoop!
Blessings.
Wow.
Oh,
That's amazing.
that was a beautiful prayer. That's what I took it as over there watching. Oh man, that's a beautiful prayer. Beautiful prayer.
Gorgeous.
I was telling my daughter one day about, I don't know, she's 14 now, so this must have been maybe 10 years ago or so. She was looking up all the dances, all the new dances at the time on the internet. And I said, you know who created all of those dances? Native Americans, indigenous people. If you look at a lot of these dances and then you look at some of these traditional dances, you're like, wait, I thought I just seen that on the internet. And I'm not making light of it, and I'm not joking about it, all right? It was something I wanted to point out to my daughter of how deeply rooted indigenous people are, and especially into American culture, all right? At some point, we were fully assimilated into American culture, but we kept our traditions.
Yes.
All right, we kept our traditions alive through things such as the hoop dance, some of these other prayers and ceremonies that we conduct. And so I'm honored and I'm blessed.
Yes.
And maybe next year Sage can come back, yeah, and share that story you shared at Shingle Springs. Cause I love it, bro. It was like beautiful. You know, it was like you hear the story. I hear the story. It's like he's almost like making fun of himself, or you know, the story was. But that's that laughter that we need.
Yeah.
That's that medicine that we need. And it's a great story. So hopefully you can come back next year and maybe share that story. Beautiful. So we're gonna get into the honoring portion of the ceremony, and Don had been hitting me up plenty of times. Excuse me, my language, I might get ghetto here every now and then. Forget where I'm at sometimes.
Don't pray. I mean it now.
So yeah, Don was hitting me up over the week, like, oh, is there a schedule? Is there an agenda? Is there a script? And I said, no, Don, there's not.
And I said, thank God, because what would we do if there was one? We wouldn't leave any room for Creator and all the divine things that happen when you speak from your heart, right? I mean, there's some wonderful things that happen. You know, if you program everything and schedule everything, we all know something about Indian time. And you know what? I think a lot of times we think of Indian time as the magical ability to be late to anywhere. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that Indian time is the wonderful connection with Creator that puts you in the right place at the right time, exactly when you're supposed to be there. Right? And it'll keep you out of the wrong place at the wrong time that you don't need to be either. Everybody look straight ahead, don't look guilty, just go, yeah, wow. Yeah, that would be really cool if that happened to someone else. But you know what? There's wonderful things that happen when we respect Creator in all of our decisions. And that's what the lives of these honorees really show us, is that when you pray and obey, marvelous, miraculous things happen. And if you're like me, half the time you can't even take credit for it because you didn't plan it no how. You don't even know what happened. You just were in the right place at the right time and you said the right thing and somebody told you how that changed their life, and if you hadn't been there and you were just planning to go to Walmart. And so I think there's some wonderful lives in this room simply because when you put your hand in Creator's hand and let Him guide you, wonderful things happen. Wonderful, glorious things happen. Things happen when we walk in love, too. You ever done something for somebody just because you love them? And it changed their life? And they thanked you a whole bunch of times, and they thought it was awesome, but you didn't even have the heart to tell them that the person who got the most help out of the whole thing was you? Because I don't know about you, but when I help other people, it's amazing how much help I get myself. Yeah. Exactly. Love Creator, love others. And that's what every honoree here tonight is meant to do.
Boom. Blessings. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Man, you just put a few things in perspective for me. I really was trying to force some stuff because our organization, my company, consists of just me. Our nonprofit organization consists of just me and my wife. And sometimes I find myself trying to force the situation. And my wife reminds me a lot of times, you just need to just let things happen sometimes. You gotta give it to Creator. And so remember that, but it's part of that thing of that human side of me. The human side of me wants to come out a lot of times and take over. And I just have to be humbled by certain situations that remind me of how small I really am in this world. All right? And so we're gonna wing it again. We didn't have a particular order in our list of people that we wanted to honor. It seemed like that because my dad was on the top of the list. And so I know some people were like, oh, wait, why is Razzle Dazzle on the top of the list? Because he's your dad? Maybe. But not really. All right, and speaking of those ceremonies and the different things that people are doing in the community, Razzle's actually out. He's pouring at our family lodge this evening. And he felt bad. I'm only gonna make it for the dinner, son. I gotta go. Like, don't worry, Dad. We need those prayers too.
Yes.
We need you to go and to conduct the ceremony that you're gonna do because we need those prayers as well.
Yeah.
All right. So there's quite a few people that weren't able to make it. We're still gonna honor them. We're still gonna give them, you know, their due respect. But the people that did make it, we want to honor them as well. And so if I can have Christia come and help out, please. Ruben. And any other youth. If any other youth wants to come and help us out to hand the awards to our honorees and give them their honorarium, please come and help us out. All right? Because we need you guys. We need your help. And if you're not able to come up here, just have good thoughts and good prayers. Because one day we might be honoring you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Blessings. Thank you guys. Whoa. It worked.
Well, while they're starting, I'm going to share with you a poem about what it means to all of us to be Indigenous warriors from The Marriage of Saints, which is my novel that is part of the American Indian Studies series at the University of Oklahoma. The worship of angels. What matters most is the weight of the heart, the measure of fire, the mind of God. First, all, and final, how we are made. What matters most is the use of the heart, the coming of children, the gold standard of bread, day in, day out, how our lives are made. What matters at last is the joining of hearts, those glimpses of Eden that make us miss heaven, and how in one another we find it again. Mado?
Wado? Can you tell us what that means, please?
Mado means thank you in Creek, Wado means thank you in Cherokee.
Beautiful. Wado.
Hey, let's all try that. That'd be cool. Mado? Mado. That means thank you in Creek. Wado.
Wado.
Oh, good. That's thank you in Cherokee. So now you can be polite when you come see us in the Southeast Tribes.
We'll try. Sometimes as California natives, you know, we've been so all on our own, we feel like a lot of times. But I'm glad you're here because that brings that connection.
You know, we need to really take back the fact that unity is our superpower.
Yes.
It really is. Love is our superpower. Unity is our strength. We need to remember that there were no borders. There were no imaginary lines and demarcations. It wasn't north versus south, east versus west, you versus them, full blood versus mixed blood. No, no, no. We're all one big family. Love Creator, love others. That's it. Let's try that. Love Creator.
Love Creator.
All right. And love others.
Love others.
That's it. That's all there is to it. All the politics, the hurt feelings, the things we go back and forth about and think are so important. You know what? There's no fight like a family fight, right? I mean, seriously, the Hatfields and McCoys, I mean, family feuds are legendary. But we need to set those aside and realize that we don't have enough to be mad at each other. There's not enough of us to be in strife with one another. We have to walk in love. We have to get in unity. We have to remember that we're all family. No matter what your original name was or where you were from, if you are Indigenous, welcome to the family. We'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah, it brings me back to the poem I had wrote. And then as I was coming back from Round Valley, I started crying, so I lost my thought earlier. But it was something that I always hear about. All right, there's a family in Round Valley, and they share something in common, which is a last name. And Don talks about that, letting things go, being able to move forward and accept each other. And so one day I'm going to say that poem in front of the people in Round Valley because I'm scheduled to go out there next month. And I'm going to share that with them before I share it with anybody else. So if I get scolded by anybody, it'll be the people that I was writing the poem about. But blessings, thank you again. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming out. Don flew in from Atlanta. All right. Thank you
Well,
so
I didn't
much.
really fly. I just rode on the plane.
She rode on the plane. All right, she wasn't the pilot. But I do want to extend my gratitude to all of the youth that came up here to help us honor
Yes, thank you.
as well. The babies, the young ones. All right, we want to honor them as well. All right, they speak a language that we all spoke at one time.
Yeah.
And a part of that language was love.
Yes, it is. Always. Love is our first language.
Beautiful. So, with that being said, beautiful. And we had a couple technical difficulties as far as bios were concerned. So when we introduce somebody, if there's somebody actually that wants to speak on their behalf, or if they can share a little bit with us, that would be super awesome. All right? We would appreciate it. And so our first, our first honoree for the first annual Indigenous Artist-Activist Awards is Miss Kayleen Audrey Sisk. Blessings. They're in training, she said. You're in training. Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. Thank you for allowing them actually to do that and introducing them to them and explaining to them that they are in training. Beautiful. Yep, you can have them hold them for a little bit, but would you like to share anything, deliver a message to the crowd, share anything about yourself, or what your fight, what your fight is for?
Thank you. I don't know, many of you are my friends on Facebook, right? My good friend Pua Case from Hawaii says that's sacred Facebook. That's how we met. And that's how we know we're defenders of our mountains and the protectors of our waters. But I wanted to also say that my Winnemem people are here tonight. You see my Winnemem people over here. The warriors who have done the dances on the dam and to protect the waters. And there's so many things that I wish that we could wake up the Indian people, the California tribes. There's got to be some way of waking them up and looking around at what is happening here in California. You know, and you see my signs here. Maybe you saw them on Facebook as well. The one that says, I believe in the good things coming, that's the one for our young people. That we have to create that. We have to work for that to happen. Now, if you flip the other side, this is for us. We are not defeated. we have come a long way on this journey of this horrible history that's happened to us. And we have not taken a stand for many, 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 many years. And now is the time. It's for our water. It's for our future generations to protect the salmon, because California is a salmon state. Maybe you guys didn't know it, or maybe you forgot it, or maybe your rivers don't have them anymore, like ours. But we have to still fight for the salmon. We have to bring them back, because that's our water. Bring back the beavers and the wolves. They're also water protectors. So there's a lot of things for our young people to think about and to become involved with, in addition to all of the schooling. I mean, like, schooling is important, right? Yes. And, you know, I even got a college degree. But let me tell you, I sit in those meetings with the scientific people on salmon, and I'm sitting across that table and I think, you should not be sitting there. You know nothing about salmon. Where did you grow up? We have people making decisions about our Sacramento River salmon and our McCloud River salmon who's never even been to the river. And yet they're going to be the ones who decide what happens. But we keep jumping up and down, right? And we show our signs, and we try to get them on the media. We try to get them out there to say, we need you to think about this. What does that mean, water is life? What does that mean to you? Is it okay just for the water coming out of your tap? And when we talk about the beavers, we have to talk about the high country and where the water comes from, and protecting those sacred springs. This is a shorter one. But my tribe, you know, we are at the headwaters of the California Water Plan. And we need all of the tribes, all of the people, to wake up to the California Water Plan. What do you know about it? What is it going to be doing in your community? You know, how does it fit with your tribal structures? Because right now, there's three things that put that in motion, and it's the twin tunnels. How many of you heard of the twin tunnels? A couple, see? We got to wake up. The twin tunnels is where they're going to put a 40-mile tunnel, two tunnels, big as a 4-lane highway, freeway, under the delta, all the way down from Stockton, all the way down to almost Fresno. That'll come out, and it delivers water to the Westlands Water District, and they divvy up the water from Northern California. But the Miwoks in here, in this whole area, have been silent on the twin tunnels. I don't know why, but we need to change that. We need to change that, because they're going to be digging up all of your grave sites. You look at old pictures of the estuary. It's the largest one in the North America, in our coastline. It's the largest one. And it was full of Indian villages. Now they're going to dig it up and put this tunnel down there and create wetlands, they say 100 acres of wetlands for the birds. But they're not consulting the Indians. And nobody's complaining except for Randy Yonemuro. Because they use the cultural studies from the library. They didn't go out and talk to any Indians about this tunnels. So that's one issue. The other one in place is the Sites Reservoir. How many have heard of the Sites Reservoir? Yeah, it's up there by Maxwell, right? It's going to be up there by Williams, over by Cortina, and close to Colusa. And neither one of those have actually said anything. It's like, how come? Because it's a state water project, we have to get involved. Because while you're thinking your federal tribes, the state is planning for every drop of water that you have. And you should be involved now. Because Sites Reservoir has no way of filling unless they take water from the Sacramento River. Okay? So that leads us to the Shasta Dam. where we're sitting, right? We have already suffered from the Shasta Dam raise. We've lost 26 miles of our river. And so we say, no dam raise, no tunnels, and honor our tribal lands. But these things are all moving forward, and the California Indian people are few that are standing, few are showing up, few are being educated about what does that mean to us in here in California. And one of the dividing factors is that some of y'all are recognized, right? BIA speaks for you and to you about everything you have rights for. And then there's us who are unrecognized. But we're still as Indian as anybody else, and we still have traditional homelands that we're protecting, and that we will continue no matter what you call us, or no matter what the government turns around and says. You know, it's like they keep changing all the time. Right now, the unrecognized tribal status, if you buy into it, means that you are discriminating against Indian people. And we have to stop that. Here in California, you know, we have the California claims case, where most of us have roll numbers that date back before 1850, and we've already been certified as California Indians. Now they have the gall to say we're unrecognized. We should not let them get away with that, but we are. We step aside, and our federally recognized tribes also are starting to institute that thinking. You know, we would give you some of that child care money, but you're just not recognized. And some of us, the reason that there are rancherias is because we wrote letters to the government in the early 1900s complaining about the homelessness of the California Indians. And they came out in the 20s and established homeless Indian lands, which became the rancherias, which then became the federally recognized tribes of California. It was not set up to be that way, but who could see that? You know, when Redding Rancheria got unterminated, we disappeared. We disappeared from the map. So what I'd like to leave is for these young people and who they represent is a way of thinking about things. And you know, my grams has always said, you got to keep one foot in your tradition. You got to keep one foot there, but you have to learn how the white man thinks. And now it's not just the white man, it's people who have the white attitude, because now we're faced with Indians who have the white attitude standing in front of us. And other nationalities who are standing in front of us. And if you watch the videos on our puberty ceremony a couple years ago, you would see that there is a black man in the Forest Service who actually stood in the way of helping us do the right thing for our river and for our young girls and for our tribe in that process. And so if I could get any one of my tribal members to help out here, any of them to stand up, and maybe I would like to share a song to leave with you guys and to hopefully, you know, bless us in that good way. So all my singers, they're shy. You know, they like me to be on stage, but they don't want to be up here. But I came here tonight because I want you to be aware of those things. I want you to think about what it is that you can do in your own tribal governments, in your own communities, in your own places. You know, and so oh yeah. We're going to share this song because it's a song that calls on our mountain to you know, send us those blessings of Bigfoot, because they take care of our children. If our children get lost, they sing the song and they find their way home. But it also is that Bigfoot came in and said that he's going to cry for the men because we don't have our men. Our men have not been there for us. They don't know how to cry for the people, meaning something in their heart has been missing. And there's a lot of trauma that has happened to the men. And so Bigfoot is helping to put that back. And I think that some of you might know this song as something else, but this is where it comes from. Oh, thank you. Thanks to all the young people. You see this little guy right here, trying to keep me young. Trying to keep up with him is a major chore. But I think that when we go to the river and we see them swimming and we see them in that fresh, clear, pure, cold water, and I look around and I think all of our rivers used to be like that up and down the state, and they're not now. And the fear that I have is that the twin tunnels are big enough to divert the entire Sacramento River. And eventually they will, because they think every drop of water that hits the ocean is a wasted drop. And that is the problem for our salmon. And the problem with the salmon is that our belief is that we won't be here anymore if the salmon are not here anymore. And already it's kind of that way because most people don't even like salmon no more. They don't even know how to catch the salmon anymore. They don't know how to fix the salmon anymore. They don't know them anymore. They've forgotten their stories about salmon, their songs and their dances about salmon. But we do that every August. And I would extend that to you to come up, bring your youngsters up, and swim that river with us so that they know about salmon, because that's our life way. And so we have to always speak for salmon. Salmon gave us his voice so that we could communicate. So now I want to leave you with that we need to communicate more about the things that are going on. You need to get your tribes, at the table with the state departments. They're doing all of these things right now. And so our youngsters, wherever they're from, the high schools that they go to, the places, to give them the strength to walk those halls and study those books. I am concerned about the young lady at Sac State who was told that genocide didn't exist, and that I think that the California Indian tribes, we should demand a meeting with those higher education programs. We should go into those offices of the CSU system, not with the teacher, but with the chancellor. We should demand that because they're responsible for all of those problems that they're having now. And I understand that they're even having death threats against the family and other people that are, to speak. What is that? It's like 2015. Aren't we like above that? But nobody wants to look at the genocide. So I hope that you'll all join in and make a difference. I think that's all that we can do. We can do the best that we can to make the difference, whether it's staying with your family and taking them and helping them to grow up in a good way. That's also very important. So thank you very much for the award. And I accept it on behalf of my tribe, my family, that we work hard together. We do as much as we can do. And we thank all of our supporters and the people who take time to Facebook me. So thank you so much.
It has had a very deep impact on not only my personal life, but also my music career as well. And We just did a performance together over at McClatchy High School, the Native Hip Hop Youth Symposium that was put together by Miss Dr. Melissa Lill, Calvin Hedrick, and a lot of people that made that event happen, take place. And this brother like kind of hurt my feelings when he was up on stage because guess I'm getting old. I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. And you know, I was kind of hurting my feelings because I'm a year older than him. Like, wait, if you're too old for this, then what does that make me? And so I spoke with him about that because I consider him a friend, and I told him that it kind of hurt my feelings that, you know, and not necessarily because I'm 1 year older than him, but because I felt like he meant it.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like he meant it, and his message is so powerful. His story is so powerful. And when I started my project, he was the first person I reached out to. You know, he was considered himself at one point the protector of Kachodihi. And he took it serious, and I felt safe when he was there. Because I knew he meant it. And today, you know, we want to honor him. And we want to honor the group that he's part of and the foundation that they laid for a lot of indigenous hip-hop artists all over the country, all over the world. And so we're honoring my brother Cisco Gower from the Savage family. If you can, brother, if you can make your way up here, we're actually giving the Savage family, and it's maybe, dang, I'm adding to him feeling old. We're giving him a Lifetime Achievement Award. How ironic. You see what you made me do? Fruit. Please. Thank you. Yeah. Can you take it out of the box? So yeah, this is my brother, and my wife and I consider him our brother, and we consider his wife our sister. And I'm just extremely humble and honored that he would be part of the project that I put together in regards to indigenous hip hop and music. And bro, like, we appreciate you. We honor you. I respect you. And I need you to keep pushing. I need you to keep pushing this movement. We need you to keep pushing this movement. Because it's real. And it comes from your heart, bro. And I love you for that. I appreciate you. So I'm going to let him do a freestyle. I'm just kidding.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I just go around saying that I don't want to do the music no more and travel and stuff like that because hypoglycemic and my sugar keeps dropping. Then I'll be like, can't think right. But over the last 7 years, I was traveling around the whole country going res to res. And some of the stuff I seen out there took its toll on me. I was out at a Crazy Horse school, and I'll go into the schools with different groups of people and do workshops, do youth outreach, do concerts for them. And I went into this school, and the staff, the faculty or whatever, brought me in the office and said, hey, look, we need to talk. We had 30 suicides in the last 90 days. And watch what you say to these kids. These kids don't smile. These kids don't laugh. And being around things like that really took its toll on me. So I needed to just take a little break, a little hiatus from the realities that's out there, because no matter how many people is out here doing what we're doing or been doing it longer, it's a big battle. And sometimes you gotta go back, take a break, go train, and get at it. So that's all I meant by I'm getting too old for this. But I do got a lot of battle wounds. I've been stomped out with Russell Means, beat up by the cops, and had my neck stomped out, and then went to jail with him, and a bunch of other different occasions that we was trying to put it down for the people. But I appreciate these awards on behalf of the Savage family. A lot of the brothers couldn't be here. There's probably over 1,000 of us in different states, different reses. Whole load of us down here in California, people that's a part of what we do, because it's about everybody and everything that goes on behind the scenes, from the ceremonies to the dreams. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate this, and much love. Keep doing all the work that everybody's in here is doing, because we all need it out there. Thanks.
Well, thank you. I'm not gonna lie, when I first seen that microphone, I said, man, that would look so good with Richie Ladrigo's name on it. But then the spirit took over and said, who really deserves that? Wow. And my brother is the first person that came to mind, and the Savage family is a big group. You know, maybe one day we can initiate a reunion, so to speak, all right, because they were doing a lot of work. They laid that foundation. If it wasn't for the Savage family, I say it all the time, if it wasn't for them, there would be no Richie Ladrigo. If it wasn't for the Savage family, a lot of these artists wouldn't be doing what they're doing, all right? So we appreciate the Savage family, not just Cisco, but the whole Savage family, and everything that they do, and that message. And we know that they're indigenous warriors, and so we appreciate them.
Wow. Okay, where do I start? Right here? Oh, thank you. So, wow, that's gorgeous. Wow, it's just different when you see it. This is really wonderful. Oh, wow. Y'all know me, huh? That's awesome. Thank you so much. Want me to talk to him real quick? I love y'all. Love you too. Oh, hey, you look good and good. You know, I am so blessed to have this. Because a few years ago, just a couple years ago, I actually died. I was sick and I died. And EMTs and everybody, and it was terrible. But Creator had a purpose for me, and so He brought me back. And I'm so glad, because I'm having the best time. But I hope it doesn't take something that shocking for all of you to know that He has a purpose for you too. He does. Well, I don't know what my purpose is. I have no idea. I'm not famous like you. I don't have a bunch of... Well, I'll tell you what your purpose is. Ready? Love Creator and love others. Oh, wow. All right, let's try that again. Love who? Creator. And love who? Others. And that is it. That's it right there. If you want to have a fun and rewarding life, if you want to have a purpose life, you do not have to watch hours of, counseling videos or go buy a self-help book. All you have to do is remember to love Creator and love others, and you will have the very most fun there is. You know, I used to look at wonderful, beautiful lives of people that I admired and respected. And you know what I think? I think we should just be those people. Be that uncle who just knew what you should do, right? When you got in too much trouble, he was the one you'd call and he'd help you out. Maybe legally, maybe not so legally. Be that grandma, be that auntie that you could depend on. When you went to them and you needed some good advice, they gave it. Well, guess what? We're the now. It's our turn. And young people, they talk about those of us that are relatively young. They say, well, you're the future. We're not the future. We're the now. The now. Now. Now is the time to love That's right. And so when people ask me about this wonderful, amazing thing that we call life, that's all I want. And that's what this award says to me, that I've been saying with everything I try to do, that I love Creator, and I love you, and I love you. You don't even know me. I don't have to know you. Because somewhere in you is something that Creator made. And guess what? It's in me too. And that makes us family. Doesn't matter what tribe or nation, doesn't matter what quantum or piece of paper, it doesn't matter what nationality or ethnicity or gender, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that we love Creator and we love others. You guys are getting really good at that. And so I love this award. I used to think you had to be, like an elder to get stuff like this. But I'm so thankful that that the love that I try to give to other people, thank you for giving me some of that love back tonight. I love y'all.
Oh.